One of my favorite things to do in winter is use the crock pot. It's super easy. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of cooking because you just sort of set it and forget it, if you will, with little effort, and things can come out tasting delicious.
Yeah,
I think you just nailed the name of the cookbook that I was showing too. Fix it and forget it. So that was a perfect.
Really?
That was a perfect.
Oh my
intro.
goodness! Look at that. Fix it and forget it.
So Kelly Mueller, we love having you, the American Diabetes Association, showing us how to maybe change meals, take out some of the sugar, healthify it.
Yeah, and how to make little changes. And you're right, Crock Pot is a great way. And when I was trying to pick recipes, the ones that really speak to me are the ones where the instructions say, put in crock pot, turn on, and walk away, right? And so rather than having to prep other ingredients at different times, you just put it all in and then you let it go for 6 to 8 hours. So this is I did a beef stew and a New England clam chowder.
Okay.
The clam chowder is the harder one to make a little bit healthier because it's a creamy soup, right? And so, you know, it seems pretty obvious, though, what you would do is that you just swap out the cream for the low-fat version. So instead of using a heavy cream, you use a low-fat or a fat-free half and half, and instead of using a whole milk or something like that, you would use a skim milk. So it gives you a little bit different consistency in terms of the thickness of it, but I think the ways that a lot of these recipes offset it is by putting other things in it that have more of a like a chunkiness to it. So it has a potato in it, and then and so you use it you just get a little bit of a different texture. So it came out great, and it's a real easy recipe. And so it's and after
it has a good consistency.
Right, and after a day or so, when you first make it and then you let it sit and then it kind of combines a little bit more, that's the beauty of soup.
I would never know the difference.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is delicious.
Right, and it's essentially, you know, you use some canned soup and then you get some of the minced clams, and so you do a little bit of a combination, real easy, let it go for 6 to 8 hours, or if it's on high, you let it go a little bit
So you do use some of these then, right? Okay.
Yeah, you use some of those, and then you use some of the fat-free half and half and the skim milk. So a real easy one, not a lot of trouble to prep it. And then the beef stew, you know, this one is you can't really mess it up. This is the true, put everything in there. Yeah, but I mean, you put it, I can't mess it up, you know, and we just, we put it, you cut up your vegetables, you put it, this one has peas and beans and some potatoes, some turnips, which give that really hearty root vegetable spice. Yeah, and they give that little pepper, to me they're peppery, turnips are. And so, and then 1 pound of the stew beef, so that's already cut up. You could use a different cut of meat if you wanted, but stew beef is kind of, I know I gave you a fork and a spoon because this one's almost a soup that you eat with forks.
Depends what you want.
Yeah.
And you become like the queen of the bell jars.
Yeah, that's right. And there's still, each one of these recipes, so made exactly to the size here, makes 3 of these jars. So that's a lot of
Thank you.
That's a lot of soup that's made with one recipe.
Do you store them in these jars too? Because it's kind of I like it because you can see through it. It looks nice and
and they're not canned, so you wouldn't store them in a cupboard like you would if you actually canned them.
Right, you put them in the refrigerator.
We have a very small kitchen and a very small refrigerator at my house, so these taller ones work better than a big pot.
Exactly. No, that's right. No, they're easier to store.
Yeah,
I love it.
Everything in my house is about space.
Great flavor.
Saving. Yeah,
great flavor.
And it has a little bit of you know, just the standard seasonings, nothing really crazy, no crazy spices.
It's not overly salty too, which I know when you're watching your sugar, you also want to watch your salt.
Absolutely.
And some of these things, soups can have a lot of sodium in them. That's the other thing you got to watch out for.
Especially if they're heavy on the canned.
Right.
Like if it's straight out of a can, you know, that's a way to cut down on your sodium is by making it yourself. This one, the broth is it's a beef broth and it's a low sodium. Beef broth. So
you won't miss the salt. You won't miss it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's great. You're welcome.
It's great to see you.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Getting the home runs with the soups here. I love it. What traffic local headlines coming up next? Hope you can stay with us.